elliciaromo here, and I'm super excited. I am here with Lynette Clemens again from AZ Value Builders with Keller Williams Legacy One. And I get to ask Lynette a new question today. So Lynette, thank you for joining us. For joining me.
Thank you.
Today, I would like to know about, in your 16 years of being a realtor, what has been your most challenging deal that maybe you didn't think would get closed, but it did?
Well, in 16 years, there have been so many of those, you're right. And some of them we didn't know if they could close. I will say today there was one that closed, just bringing up recent. We had 4 buyers fall out on that one because it's during the pandemic. And at the very beginning, there were some struggles with some financing. But today we're celebrating. In fact, when we're done here, I'm going to go pick up pizza. I'm going to drop it off so that they can celebrate with dinner tonight. So, but as far as most challenging ever, I did have a client. In fact, she's still a good friend of mine. In fact, she, right now, I sold her the house she's in now. And when she was selling the house she lived in before, she still is a nurse. And she was pregnant with her second child. And that was a pretty good sized house. And she had gone away for a couple weeks before it closed, and she was going to come back and move. And while she was gone, and we did have the other house, the other offer. While she was gone, the buyer fell out of that house. It felt like the offer fell out, everything fell out. And she was in Canada at the time. And we knew that she couldn't close on her new house without selling this house. And so I immediately called, so I have a team. So I called, at that time, Amanda was helping her out, and told her, hold on, I just need to find another buyer really quickly for this house. And it was a house that, it was in Tempe, and it was in an area that I think, a lot of people, it shouldn't have been very hard to find a buyer, but in that particular house, it didn't have a pool, and a lot of people liked pools in that area. So to find a house in a couple hours was going to be kind of difficult, but that's all I had. And so I told her, just hold on. And I don't know exactly how I did it, but I started looking through my emails. I started calling every person I know, and I knew, and I found an investor. Nice. I got him on the phone. I told him the situation. He ended up coming out to the house and seeing it with me. He put an offer in. We actually closed. By the time I got her on the phone, the first thing I told her was, everything's okay. And then I told her that we had lost our buyer, but we had gotten another buyer in that 3 hours that was actually going to close on the same day with $3,000 more in her pocket than I had paid her before. So truth, that's a true story.
How exciting. So in the end, it closed at a higher price than what the original deal was.
It did. And I don't know how that happened. I mean, I do know it was a lot of hard work. It wasn't just me sitting there. I had to go find that buyer, but it shows me, when you're digging and you need it, you can make things happen.
So how did it feel to you once that deal finally closed and you knew you did what it took to get it done?
Well, that's funny because you were talking about challenging, like I said, we're really good friends right now. She'll see this video and she'll agree with this. So like I said, she was pregnant at the time with another son, and she has 2 little boys now. And she's a nurse, and she didn't give herself quite enough time to pack. Okay. She was gone on the trip. So when we were time to close, she'd had some friends help her, but there was still a lot of things in that house that hadn't been packed on anywhere. And my grandma had passed away. So I was actually out of state when that happened. So I called Gina on my team, and she called our photographer, who's a really good guy, and her son, and they went over there. And when they got there, she called me and said, we're going to need more help. So she called the moving company. We ended up with 2 U-Hauls and a moving company, and they helped her finish moving that day, got her out. So
nice.
We did it by now. So
that sounds like an incredible success. And how awesome again that you are still friends with her. That doesn't surprise me. And I'm sure that what you did here seems to be an example of going above and beyond And I'm sure that that's probably a bit of why maybe you're still friends with her to this day.
Because I just love her.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for sharing your story with us today, Lynette, and I'm excited for next time. So if you're watching us today, stay tuned because there will be more.
Appreciate it.